So I want to welcome everyone to the MSCC All Hands meeting for December. It's actually a combined meeting from November, December because of the holidays. We decided to just have this one meeting. I hope that you enjoyed today's meeting. We should have some good presentations from a couple of our Research Catalyst program schools. I'm looking forward to hearing what they're doing so far. And we're going to talk a little bit about our website, some things, some exciting things that we're going to be doing there, and then we'll close up with just some community of practice discussion, and finally open floor kind of communications. So I think we've given it a good start here. We got a good little crowd built up. So Jessica, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, absolutely. As Al mentioned, today we're spotlighting two project teams who were awarded through our Research Catalyst program. They'll be sharing some early updates, findings, and progress that they've made thus far. So, this is really a great opportunity for us to see how MSCC institutions are leveraging the MSCC Research Catalyst program at their institutions. So, first, I'd like to introduce the project team for the project measuring cyber infrastructure effectiveness at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. We are joined by PI Dr. Tommy Patterson. Dr. Tommy Patterson is the data visualization librarian for the F.D. Bluford Library at North Carolina A&T. He supports student and faculty research and data needs surrounding software, design aesthetics, statistical analysis, and data exploration. His personal research program spans the fields of dendrochronology, so tree ring science, climatology, and biogeography to understand how environmental conditions are imprinted in forest ecology. We're also joined by the co-PI of this project, Stephen Bollinger. Stephen is an associate professor and assistant director for library systems at the F.D. Bluford Library at North Carolina A&T as well. Stephen's current research and grant work is focused on closing the digital divide through community engagement and collaboration and effectively integrating cybersecurity practices, values, and competencies into the digital navigator paradigm. So, with that, I'd like to turn it over to this project team to share more about their work thus far.
Thank you for that introduction, Jessica, and for getting some of those big words correct in my job description of what I do and some of my research background. So it's nice to be here. Thank you for inviting some librarians into this space. Um, and of course, I have a slightly different background as well. I have a PhD in geography and was geography faculty, and I'm taking these different components of my academic training and experience, and I've planted at North Carolina A&T as a data librarian. And I hope that we're going to be filling a large need here in the coming years, and we're really grateful for this funding. This is a picture of the front of our library here at A&T, FD Bluford. This photo would be today, except for it's a little cloudy. We're expecting some snow potentially to move in overnight, but this is basically what it looks like here at our winter aspect. And of course, those are the two collaborators I have on the grant. Stephen, who's on the call today. Charlene Jones is out on some medical leave, and she was not able to make it. But please go ahead and advance the slide. So we're in this bit of a new direction, or a little bit of a directional change for our library. And the backstory with this, from what I've gathered through the conversations I've had, is that our previous provost had her finger on the pulse of communication across campus, where we had excellence in research that was getting siloed in various areas of campus. So we may have high computing power and software expertise siloed, say, in our College of Engineering. Agriculture had their own sets of knowledge and experience. We had new and emerging programs that were wanting access to all of these interesting tools and technology. But just because of the way of how things had been organized, there was not a lot of great cross-pollination. And so from what I've understood, how this came to be was that she was looking at trying to coordinate of having somewhere on campus that's centrally located, where we can have access to higher performing computers, software, technology and training, and it's going to be available across campus. And so very fortunately for us in the library, she approached our dean with expansion funds to establish a lab and to hire faculty to lead this out. So I came on, like I interviewed for the position over 2 years ago, and there was like, we're going to be establishing all these services, we're going to be establishing a lab. So within the first couple of months, I started asking these questions about, okay, well, like, what's the plan? And there was a bit of like, that's kind of for you to figure out, which is a little daunting, but I really kind of embraced this. And we got into this position where we had some funds that needed to get spent. So we went ahead and invested in getting a space set up in our library, renovating a space. So you're looking at two photos here. The photo on the top is a little bit more pan to the right. The photo on the bottom is a little bit more pan to the left. But we have 13 high-powered computers, and we're updating them with like lots of great software. We're having some computers that are a bit more kind of customizable as well. And as we're developing all this stuff, we were starting to make decisions that were a bit cart before the horse. We're setting up the space, we're putting together some workshops, but in between these months of getting this set up about a year ago, I was having a lot of conversations with my colleagues about like, we're developing all this stuff, but I don't really know. I don't have the 30,000-foot view of what are all these needs on campus. Like, how do I figure out this information? And thankfully, Stephen came to me and said, you know what, MSCC is putting together these grants that is looking to potentially fund exactly what we need to do and want to do. So we started to have these organic needs for this comprehensive user needs assessment to really understand cyber infrastructure on our campus and potentially to get us additional training so that we have a strong launch with this lab in this department in the library. So we saw the call for proposals, we submitted with our needs, and so that's what I'll talk about today. So go ahead and click the next slide here. The big thing that our proposal funds and the research that we hope to do on our campus is this, what we're calling a comprehensive user needs assessment. So I think about this as either like the bird's eye view or the 30,000-foot view of collecting information on faculty needs surrounding things like software, hardware, training, as well as graduate and undergraduate student researchers. We want to know how IT is navigating these requests and disseminating this technology across campus. We want to know how campus leadership is thinking and envisioning things like 5 or 10-year plans for provost, student chancellor level. How our division of research is also handling this as well. So we want to do this very thorough pulse check of really getting our finger on the pulse of how all this is working. I'm going to turn my video camera off. I just got a notification that my internet was unstable. So we want to put together this very comprehensive evaluation of how all this stuff's organized. From that, as librarians, and especially because we know we have this space and this expertise, we want to then develop a model that positions ourselves in the library as playing a bit more of an active role in the space of campus cyber infrastructure. So from our preliminary research, we also think that we're kind of one of the first HBCUs to really put together something like this. There's some decent evidence of some larger PWIs that have done this. We're thinking about kind of being the first within this space, and I'll get to why this is important in just a second. So developing a way in which the library is this interesting puzzle piece that can maybe connect, resolve some issues, redundancies, develop new resources to really kind of help our campus flourish as we're transitioning to an R1 research institution. So this comprehensive user needs assessment, I don't have to read all the text there, but it's essentially just guiding the foundation of the department that we have in the lab. This is the work that really needs to get done so that we're really kind of hitting the nail as opposed to just putting stuff out there. And so it's this really great opportunity to gather and synthesize all of this information. So hopefully that as librarians, we can really be embedded, kind of maybe serving as this campus research resource center. This can be from project conception, working intimately with researchers with data analysis, preservation, management, all things like that, and kind of engaging in new ways with campus IT. Maybe right here, I'll kind of throw to Stephen here. We didn't plan this ahead of time, by the way, but Stephen, I guess, you and I have talked a lot about how this is going to be structured. I mean, what are some maybe thoughts or kind of points that you can add to this as far as like how common this is in libraries or, this perspective that we're undertaking?
Well, so this is, I'll be as brief as I can. This is one of the benefits that our library has that our librarians are considered faculty and act as faculty. And the interesting thing about that, of course, across all the institutions represented here, that's not consistent. It's not consistent within the UNC system, mind you. The interesting thing is participating outside of our, because of our responsibilities to the profession and to be active faculty members, we've seen other libraries do something like a Center for Research Excellence, as opposed to most campuses have a Center for Teaching Excellence. And this is a new thing that's only happening in a very few institutions at this time, kind of a trial balloon happening across the country as people sort of see what happens. But the interesting thing is that we are both practitioners of research and information technology. And of course, we also work at our job at its heart is to support our campus in these endeavors. And so it gives us a window that our typical IT professional doesn't have, because we're talking with the faculty about their research projects and their research needs. We're talking what their students need. We're talking with undergraduate researchers themselves. We're finding out those sorts of things. So it's an opportunity for us to explore this space and in a meaningful way that benefits everyone involved. And also, every single institution has librarians. Now, we know many of them probably don't have enough. I don't know of an HBCU or a MSI that actually, has a hefty library that is over capacity or overstaffed. But I do know that each institution has one, and that model of us assisting our faculty and our students and our researchers can be brought to other institutions effectively. And so that's what this pilot is about.
Yeah, so perfect. You just teed me up to this. If you don't mind advancing the next slide. We totally didn't plan this, by the way. And so one of the things that we really were, and I was, I really wanted this in the proposal, and I feel this in my heart, which is that, yes, of course, this funding will benefit us, right? I mean, this is immediately going to serve the FT Bluford Library, our research community, but I think maybe it's just where I'm at with my career, or just my feelings about where we are in society. It's like, I want to give as much as possible in life now. So, I thought a lot about how this can benefit this organization. And so I want to be very transparent about documenting the process. So how we're building the questionnaires and surveys, how we're compiling these resources, how we at a larger budget are able to establish and operate one of these data research centers within a library. But I want to put it together in various tiers that we can say, for lack of better words, shoestring option versus kind of this full-blown effect with PhD research scientists on staff here. So that's a big part of this as well. And so we look forward to putting out some papers and documentation, potentially hosting workshops here, to bring everybody else in to kind of share in what we're learning. And so that's something that I'm very passionate about, making sure that we can put this out there as much as possible, so that it's just not benefiting us. Okay, so go ahead and click to the next slide. And this is essentially our progress support. We as librarians don't have a ton of long-standing expertise and tradition with hiring students. And so it's taken a while with getting all of our funding available and organized within our division of research to be able to hire students. But the two are hired for next semester. We've got really great students that are highly qualified in qualitative data collection and analysis. And that's going to be really helpful for those the surveys and the one-on-ones and the group sessions that they're going to be leading. So we've got our students set up for next semester. I'll be attending TechX next week. If you are going to be there, please come say hello, try to find me, we'll get a coffee. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. And really kind of the next part is developing the user needs assessment. And this is where our colleague on this project, Charlene, she is our library assessment and user experience coordinator. So she's highly expertise. She's got a lot of expertise within this, but unfortunately, like I said, she's been out on some medical leave, and so we're just a touch behind on this. But we'll be developing this over winter break and really starting to get this out there and collecting data at the very beginning of the new year. So we're really excited about the project. I'm kind of nervous talking about this stuff because I care about it. I want it to go so well. But we're really looking forward to engaging with everybody here. So if at any point, within this next semester and year, if you have feedback or questions for us or ideas, I mean, we don't have a boilerplate for how to do this. This isn't ultra common in libraries, and so we're kind of learning these things as we go. And the nice thing is that what we've already established isn't chiseled in stone. So the workshops that we're going to be developing, the feedback we're collecting, there's a lot of abilities to pivot ultimately to capture the needs of our campus. And so that's a really exciting time, and I can't really express how grateful I am for this funding opportunity. So that's all the words I have. Stephen, if you want to follow up with anything else, I'm happy to take questions. Great, thank you.
Thank you. ESR program sponsored by Google and co-PI for a DOE grant. Lately, she was awarded the MSCC Research Catalyst Program Award. Her work integrates service learning, research collaboration, and industry engagement to enhance student learning and academic success. Dr. Zhang has designed and taught a diverse range of computer science courses, from introductory level to advanced senior level computer science courses. She also plays a pivotal role in mentoring students through research programs, guiding them to prestigious internships and academic achievements. Other than the role as a tenured full professor, PI of multiple programs, Dr. Zhang also served as a faculty mentor for the TechWise program sponsored by Google, ServiceNow Bootcamp, and Mozilla HBCU Collaborative Curriculum Program, and the program director for the Applied Computing Minor, and an advisor to the Benedict Robotic Team. Awesome. So with that, I will pass it to Dr. Zhang. The floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Actually, this one is kind of aggressive. I hope I can use enough time to explain that clearly. We can go to next slide. Yeah, that's just the title. So for long-term goal, we really want to establish an integrated ecosystem. So which means there's a researchers, educators, institution level, we can have a kind of data. Looks like the color. Yeah, so that's a collecting, storing, analyzing, and visualize educational data. So today, that's involve a lot of AI stuff, and we need the IT support. We need a kind of policy to guide those things. And how about data management? That's actually everything supposed to work as a whole. So next slide, please. Yeah. So focus on, because that's a 1-year project, yeah, I think that's a good starting point to help us start with AI-driven chatbot to start to collect and analyze students' engagement. So I list the object over there. We want to establish a secure cloud-based data repository about storing, managing the educational data, then how we can, apply the analysis. So maybe we can use machine learning method to identify the engaged pattern. We want to create an interactive visualization to share the finding with our faculty and administrators. Next slide, please. Yeah. Give a process of that. Actually, we start with educational chatbot research. That's a preliminary research actually funded by UNCF. That's a starting point. But now we'll go ahead with data collection, data storage, and management, analysis, visualization. And during this process, we find out we probably need kind of ethical AI or potential AI policy to guide the educators, the whole school, how we are going to use those AI things. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah. So let's start with educational chatbot research. No matter what, today, I think AI is changing education. Yeah, no matter you like it or not, we cannot avoid that. I think the big problem for educators, because students are using AI tools, And those AI tools, most of the time, they gave direct answers. So that's a discourage critical thinking. We don't like students just to use the AI tools for cheating, just complete the homework quickly without thinking, without learning. So how we educators to change a way to use the AI tool to really to serve as a tool to help students to learn instead of provide a cheating tool. Okay, so that's our goal. And so the idea, we wanted to design an interactive learning assistant bot. Next slide. Yeah. So that's involved the research questions. So we try to figure out how students interact with AI powered chatbot, how the chatbot really influence student comprehension and the problem solving skill. What's the limit and the challenge? Among these things. So that's what the thing we try to figure out. Next slide, please. Yeah. So that's kind of a theoretical of fundamental thing. About literature review, we did some pretty much today's AI roles in education. There's many research about personalized tutoring, and for educators, you use that for grading, and that's a scalable interactive learning support. There's a kind of learning theory behind of that. I think the lessons scaffolding and Socratic question, that's very helpful to be used in prompt engineering. So during the design, that really works very well. So let's go ahead. I can. So for the preliminary research, we actually start with 3 different platforms. Rasa platform is an open source one. The good thing is free. That's have a lot of flexibility. We discussed that. We realized later on that's really need a lot of computing power, and and we tried OpenAI. This one is really focused on use their OpenAI's large language model, and we majorly use the prompt engineering to customize the chatbot. So this one is easy to configure it. But that's a kind of problem as well. It looks like it because OpenAI, even they get all the users' input as their future training data. But when we customize that, we find out we have no access to students, the chatting information. So that's something we want to build up on top of that. Then we discussed the opportunity about use Vertex AI because Google Cloud provides multiple different resources. They have the computing power, and they also have like a big query about the database system. So we are consider about that. So that's in progress for this one. So for the core features, we would like to do first thing, natural language understanding, guided problem solving, not direct answer. Okay, so they try to provide interactive learning paths for students. Next slide, please. That's just a show kind of specific data. The process we are using for data collection. So far, we just use a mixed method. So we text run the chatbot interaction logs. We try to use survey. This semester, we really try to use survey to collect the student feedback about their usage about the chatbot. And we also use user interviews, talk with individual students about their experience to use the customized chatbot. Participate, that's a student, undergraduate student at Benedict in selected courses. Okay, next slide, please. I guess we can skip this. That's just for the programming environment, the previously used Rasa. Okay, next slide, please. I think we can discuss a little bit about this one. We compare the left side is a regular chat bot, ChatGPT. Okay, the right side is the customized one. If you compare that, we actually have same input. We ask that we want to loop through number 1 to 100 and return the result. Okay, that's the input. For the left side, by default, they think that's they use Python language. And this one we actually use for C++ class. So by default, the use default language is Python, and they give up the code right away. So to think about that, students can copy paste the code for their homework. Or yeah, for the right side is the whatever we customized, I think the result looks very good. So that's provide a number of information for students to understand, but that's no actual code. So you go through that. That's just explain how you're going to break down to step by step. Okay. Next slide. Yeah. That's another case. Again, the left side, by default, they still use the Python. And the question is to give the head of a linked list and remove the nth nodes from the end of the list. It's kind of like a programming homework question, right? So the same input again for the left side, they just provide Python code. Anyway, if you put something request C++ code in the future, I think that should give you the C++ code as well. But for our customized one, so they start with a problem analysis steps, how you are going to do that step by step. So students really need to understand and spend time to read and understand, use the hand to go ahead with their homework and do the coding stuff. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah. So another function we have is because most of our students today is not really read syllabus. We put a lot of important information in the syllabus. So we think about, we want to customize the chatbot for specific course. We embed the syllabus over there. So when students need a specific question, need any help, they just type in whatever they want. For this one, they just mention how I can contact my professor. So that shows professor's contact information, office hour, office location, provide kind of suggestions. Students can also find out, okay, what kind of general content will be covered for like quiz 1 or quiz 2, what's the time for the midterm exam, final exam. I think that's provided general guidelines students can find out information pretty easily. So in this way, we can track the student specifically use our chatbot, customized chatbot instead of the regular one to get a quick, easy answer. Okay, next slide. Yeah. So for this semester, I guess we don't have time to demonstrate everything. This semester, we really talk with college experience faculty because we try to, to have 100 to 200 students. Yeah, try to get feedback from them. After discussion, college experience is for freshmen. That's for different. I think there's about 10 different sessions, and that will be a good way for us to get students' input. So we designed another 2 courses. That's very small size courses, but we design 3 customized chatbot for these 3 courses. If you want to scan that and try that yourself, you're welcome to do so. So the main idea, we try to get more feedback from them. Okay, that's about data collection. Next slide, please. Yeah. So that's for future work. So far, we haven't get to that yet. But basically, so far, we use Microsoft 365, use OneDrive to use the form to try to collect and document data. But future consideration, there's a possibility we may consider use AWS S3 storage or use the Google Cloud, but we still need to discuss what kind of function we available. But the key configuration for FERPA compliance, so that's something we need to consider about for the general policy about access control, encryption, about logging, how you can monitoring, data retention and data classification, something like that. So I guess we need a lot of IT support from that area. Next slide, please. Yeah. So another part is about data analysis and visualization. So far, we plan to use Plotly Dash. That's a good tool to visualize and provide kind of interactive visualization. That's for our future work. And once we get enough data, so we can probably start with analyze. Yeah. So next slide, please. Yeah, about ethical AI, potential AI policy, pretty much we don't have any AI policy on campus so far. And for our data, no matter what, we need to check is there any bias, and we need human validation about the actual data. Meanwhile, I mean, for general policy about using the AI, I think we probably need to educate students and our educators about how to using those chatbots, because most of the people may not know, okay, everything they input by default, that will be part of the future training data. So that's involves some private message for people accidentally input private data. Yeah, probably people don't want to put those private data in their future training data. So that's one of the things we need to remind other users how to use that. Another thing, I think many people really rely on those AI tool too much. Okay, so we want to ask people to be responsible for the outcome from the AI tool, because no matter what, the AI will make mistake. Okay, so we need to be aware of that. We need to be responsible for all those outputs from the AI tool. Next slide. Yeah. So I think more important thing is from educator and faculty side. I was thinking about for our education, we probably need a lot of change, and there's more consensus about that, because so far AI tools can provide information knowledge pretty quickly. Then how we are going to educate our student in a better way? So what's a successful education in the AI age, right? So that's something we need to consider about effective learning, about teaching strategies in or outside of the classroom, how we can help students, and to design the education. So we probably need to have a kind of brainstorming and how we can design the new teaching strategy. About assessment, that's an important thing for educational part. We do want to think about, for example, are we really grading students, or we are grade AI? So yeah, if students just use AI to cheat, and very likely you provide the grades, that's the AI's work. not the students' work. And then some policies and governance about the AI education. I just provide this. I think that's need more colleagues involved and try to think about we can work together. I mean, that's for future. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah. So about this project team, so I'm the PI and we need support staff. One is work on project management part, another one is work on IT support. We are still in the progress, try to hire people in that area. And for another part is graduate assistant. So we set up a platform on mentoring graduate students, and the graduate student help with the research and a kind of teaching support. That will release a little bit my workload, so I can spend a little bit more time in this project. And that we recruit undergraduate researchers. So for this one, we go through semester. We use a service learning program because for our students, we need 120 service learning hours for graduation. So that's become a kind of free resource. We use this opportunity to train our students. Meanwhile, we have a summer intensive research, so students can work full-time on specific project. So the idea is we use semester to train students, and for summer, we have intensive research to focus on that part. Meanwhile, we connect and have a multiple meeting with Google engineers because involve Vertex AI in a programming level. We hope we can get some technical support from them. So that's our team like this. Next one, please. Okay, that's briefly about the timeline for this 1-year project. Yeah, you can have multiple click. Okay. Yeah, so that's our progress. So good. So go back to previous. Okay, that's our current progress. We start with chatbot design because we have previous foundation, so we design customized one. But at the same time, I also train students try different things in Vertex AI. That's just a learning process for them, so I can try to explore different function if we can use it for future chatbot design. Okay, so that's kind of ongoing. And for those survey, we do need IRB approval. That's we already go through that. Faculty introduction. It's not all the faculty, but at least we introduced to some of the selected courses. So prepare course level customized AI chatbot. We designed 3-in-1, customized 3-in-1 for 3 different courses. We already launched chatbot in selected classes. About collecting those data, I guess we still have a little bit of challenge over there because we use a survey. Not many students interested to provide survey. I guess we need the actual work. So far, we are expecting about 100 to 200 students participate. But the feedback so far is about maybe around 10 feedbacks. I guess we still need to follow up with different faculty and try to get more feedback from students. That's pretty much about our current progress for next semester. If we cannot have enough data, I think next semester we can go ahead with that. Yeah, anyway, data collection is very important. And then 2026 summer, we are going to have a summer research to focus on analyze the data and also to have Vertex AI. We try to get more progress around that area. I think no matter what, that will be a long-term effort. We need funding support. Yeah, well, we are going to continually to look for different funding support to, yeah, to continue this project. So next slide. Yeah. Okay. So conclusion. Okay. Pretty much this project idea, we really hope to provide a real-time insight to student engagement and retention, especially involved with those AI tools. And we hope to build research cyber infrastructure capacity at Benedict College. If that will be a success, I think that's extendable to other HBCUs or TCU. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we hope we can share the outcome in the future. Yeah. And we also hope to support equitable and data-driven educational decision. So that's our goal and this project. Yeah. So that's pretty much I wanted to share. Next slide. So that's thank you all. If you have any question, yeah, we can discuss.